Hey, what's up everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. Man, had a little bit of an interesting experience just now. And I was in the right place at the right time to stop something bad from happening. That's really what it came down to. It's funny, man, when I was climbing up the hills, it was one of those situations where normally I got a little spot that I like to stop at after I get to a certain point where I've climbed up the hill and come around the corner near my old apartment. I usually stop in front of my old apartment and just make sure my pocket's full of paper to wipe my head, maybe drink a little water, and then keep pushing. And as I was coming around the hill, I heard that voice in my head, you know, that infamous voice. It said, whatever you do not stop moving. Keep kicking your legs. And I was saying to myself, you know what, every time I come around this bend, I usually just stop for a second. It ain't like I stopped for a long time, but it was like a unequivocal, not today. Today, you keep moving. And what I thought it was just a motivation to push my endurance. You know what I mean? Keep kicking your legs. That's basically what I kept telling myself. Keep kicking your legs, you know. If you're going to stop to get some water, don't stop. Just, you know, do it while you're walking. Do it while you're moving. And I'm like, all right, and, you know, figured it was nothing but motivation. So I go around the bend, do my little walk, go all the way down to Hollywood and Highland as I often do. And as I intended to do, I stopped in the Foot Locker, you know, to see if they had any shoes for me. I walked through there, glanced at shoes. They didn't have anything I liked. I came out of there. As I was coming out of there, I hit a right to go toward the train station, and I see what starts off as I'm coming up on an argument between a Hispanic couple and a black girl. I guess the Hispanic couple told the black girl to go around. Now, mind you, the black girl got her little daughter next to her. The little girl's probably no older than 4. Little girl, little short, little baby girl. And the mom was like a little taller than me. Black girl's like a little taller than me, slender build. But I saw that she was coming up on these people, and she was getting in their face like she was gonna fight them. And the man, I could tell the man was like, you know, he was gonna fight the black girl to protect himself and his woman, as naturally so. She got in both of their faces. The black girl hit the Mexican lady, and then the black man and the Hispanic man, you know, started to lunge toward her. And that's when I got in the way, naturally playing peacemaker, of course. And I just told him, I said in a very calm and soft voice, I just don't want you to hit the lady, man. If the lady's gonna fight, let's let them fight. And I don't want you to hit the lady. I don't want you to hurt the lady. That's what I kept saying. And I got in front of her as she was trying to fight the girl, and I was like, think about your daughter. And it was almost like she couldn't see me. It was the strangest thing. It was almost like she could not see me, literally. As I'm like in front of you, I'm talking to her, and she's looking through me to the people behind her. It was like I wasn't there. She never acknowledged me. It was almost like I was a ghost. But I could see what she was dealing with, which was like unequivocal pain that was coming out as aggression and anger. I don't know if she had just lost somebody. Who knows? You can't psychoanalyze anybody, especially a stranger. But her attitude was, I am going to fight, and I don't care who sees me. I don't care who's around me. I don't care about my daughter. I'm going to get this aggression out. You disrespected me. I want to fight whoever. And she was unequivocally the aggressor. But the only thing in my mind was, if these two women are going to fight, we're not going to stop that. I'm not getting in between two women fighting. I'm not asking homeboy to do anything other than to just stand on the sidelines with me and let them work out their female problem. Don't try to fight the woman. Don't try to break up their fight, nothing. Just make sure that the man has a man to face instead of him trying to jump the woman. That was my thinking. And, you know, when I walked away from the situation, they were trying to start up again. I wasn't about to stay there for the whole thing. But I just wanted, and plus, the black girl had a friend that came up, try to play peacemaker when they were entangled with one another. So that left it so that me and the Mexican dude, Hispanic dude, didn't have to really, you know, try to entangle ourselves, try to split them women up. Let the women figure themselves out. Like, if they want to fight, they won't fight. If they don't want to fight, they can talk it out. But what I did not want to witness was a man putting his hands on a woman in my presence. I always tell myself I'll get involved in that, especially if it's a black woman involved. I listen many times, hear black women say we don't never had nobody come up and protect us. People always pulling out phones to show the world the fight, but never actually trying to intervene and stop the fight. I just saw an opportunity to not be that person. And plus, I felt like the Holy Spirit, that voice in my head, or whatever you want to call it, was leading me to be there at the right place at the right time for that circumstance. And that I wasn't to worry about my safety or to worry about anything other than what came naturally to me, which was make sure the man doesn't hit the woman. And that was literally all I was there for. And to try to at least speak some sense to the girl that she's seeing red, trying to beat up everybody in front of her, anybody in front of her. But she never turned that energy toward me. She never looked at me like she was angry at me for trying to intervene, or even that she even saw me in front of her, which I also thought was a product of the Holy Spirit. And I thought it was very rare that me, a black man, intervening in a situation with strangers like that would go as well as it did. Usually the man turned his attention to you, what's up? 9 out of 10 times I was expecting I was gonna have to brawl with homie, just to play peacemaker. But he was almost as calm as I was when he realized what my intention was, which didn't take but a split second. He understood it. I think he's one of them dudes that don't like hitting women either, but he wasn't gonna let his girlfriend get beat up or whatever. But my thinking was, I trust that these women are gonna figure each other out, because at the end of the day, the Hispanic girl was heavier, a bigger person than the black girl. She wasn't taller, but she had about 60 pounds on her. She was not a small lady. So my thinking is, and the Hispanic dude was big too. He was a big dude too. So it was like, I understand that that's like 400 pounds coming at this little girl. And even though she's aggressive, she probably gonna end up getting hurt, or her daughter gonna end up getting hurt. And so my thinking was, all right, let me keep a super calm energy, because the little girl's right next to me. So whatever's gonna happen here, the first thing I'm gonna be thinking is, let me not only protect the child, but make the environment as little traumatizing for the baby as possible. So that's why I'm like, I'm not coming here aggressively. I ain't even coming up with a closed fist or a swinging fist. I'm just coming in as to intervene. If I get hit, I don't really care. But just don't hit her, man. That's all I'm thinking. Don't hit her in front of her daughter. Don't let her daughter see a man punching her out, even if she's the aggressor. That was my thinking. Like, don't let the little girl see mommy getting slapped on, even if mommy is doing everything she can to get slapped on. And mind you, that's exactly what she was doing, man. That's exactly what she was doing. I ain't gonna sit here and say that girl was in the right. She wasn't. Now, whatever happened that led up to that situation, they probably said something out of pocket to her. They told her to go around or something like that instead of moving out of her way, or I don't know how it went. That's what it kind of sounded like she was explaining. Well, but my thinking was, it's not my place to say who's right or wrong. I didn't see what happened. I'm not interested in who was the aggressor, nor am I interested in becoming an aggressor or making the situation worse. But it's a lot of people here. That was another thing. It was at least 60 people standing around, because you're in the middle of Hollywood and Highland on a freaking Friday. So it was nothing but people standing there. And so my thinking was, look, I just want everybody around here to understand that, there are some people out here who will try to intervene with a situation like that. I didn't necessarily have race on my mind, but it was a black woman. I am a black man. And at the end of the day, I'm tired of seeing demonstrations where we let women get beat up on, regardless of what color it is, but specifically when we are the same color of the woman, and we just sit there and let people beat up on her, or we sit up there and let the situation get worse while we hold our cameras. I don't respect that at all. I don't respect it. I think it's a crappy perspective to have as a man. And at the end of the day, a lot of times in this era, we think that the best thing we can do is hold our cameras. And it ain't, bro. It ain't. Now, maybe you don't want to intervene in every situation. I'm not suggesting everybody do what I did. Like I said, I felt like the Holy Spirit was leading me into that. And I just went with it. But to say that I was about to sit up there and let that situation escalate while I just walked past it, Nah, that's not how I'm gonna be wired going forward. That's not how I'm wired right now, man. It's not. You know, I could have got really hurt. I'll tell you right now, I could have got hurt. Who knows who has what? One of them could have pulled out a gun. One of them could have pulled out a knife. I put my body and my life at risk in that situation, although I didn't actually feel like I was in trouble. You never actually know until it's too late sometimes, and I respect that. But I really wasn't about to sit there and not try to intervene knowing that the child was watching. And the whole demonstration, you know, just looked like it was preventable. It looked like one person looked like they were mentally ill. The other people looked like they had probably done a little too much to kind of rile her up. That's what it looked like to me. Old girl was not well. That's what that came down to me. And so my thinking was, I don't want homie to hit her. If these women gonna get into it, let them get into it. But I'm not gonna sit here and let him punch her out, even if she deserves it. Now without at least somebody stepping in to try to speak some sense into him. And a part of my thinking was also, man, cops are never far away from these situations. So I need to be careful how I look when I'm trying to break this up. And I need to keep the peace, because at the end of the day, the first thing they're going to think is I'm the escalator of the situation, because I'm the black bald-headed male, right? So the first thing the cops are going to think is you did something to start this or trying to make it worse. So at all times, I'm thinking, okay, my behavior can determine how this looks from the outside looking in. And so I need to be real calm. And if I'm going to involve myself in this, be aware that eyes are watching me and watching all of us. And two, I was thinking for homeboy, if you beat up on a woman, you're gonna catch a different type of charge, bro. Different type of battery charge, I'd imagine. Not to say that I know the laws for certain, but if he goes up there and starts hauling and wailing on a woman, a million different things can go wrong for him, including somebody not as peaceful as me running up and doing something worse to him because of that. Which is also something I was thinking about. Better me intervening than one of these people that are just randomly walking by who maybe don't handle things with the same amount of grace that I have in my heart. Let me come here and help all these people, because who knows what's possible when something like that go on. It takes little situations like that, I'm telling y'all, and this is the truth. Sometimes it can start little stuff like that can start big old riots. Although you don't expect that too often, I've seen it happen before. A little fight like that between races start up, and all of a sudden you got a race riot in the middle of the damn street. I've seen it before. Although I don't think it's something that probably would have happened in that situation. Who knows? You know, racial relations in the LA area between brown and black is shaky at best most of the time. It just is what it is. It's shaky at best. You know, and there's a lot of pride, sometimes a lot of ignorance in these situations. And that's why I was trying to also just bring a certain cognizance to the situation as I approach. I don't know what type of people these are, none of them. But the man in me felt like the only thing I would respect in that situation from any man would be to stop the man from making it an uneven fight between himself, his woman, and another woman. I ain't gonna sit back and watch that happen, bro. Let's just be honest with y'all. I'm not about to do that. So, yeah, that's really what it was, man. That was my experience. I'm glad I listened to that voice. I'm glad it worked out the way that it did. I hope those people were able to get away from that situation safe. Because like I said, I didn't stay for the whole thing. They were still into it when I walked away. But at some point in time, it became clear to me that there wasn't much more I could do. But I wanted the man to at least have a couple seconds to think about what it is that he wanted to do and what it is he wanted to have happen there. That's what my point of view was. So I think I accomplished that, and that's what it was. So I walked away from that situation feeling like I felt their pain, though. I felt like I felt that girl's pain. I felt sad for the daughter, because if that girl is high strung as she is, that energy gets met eventually with something worse than you. If you're gonna engage in volatile energy, reckless, and you don't care about your daughter energy, I don't care, my baby here, I'll fight you in front of her. No. That energy eventually, that type of recklessness eventually gets met with something violent. I'm just being honest. So if you got that type of mentality, and you hear my voice right now, you need to seriously get your mind right. Get some help. Go get some anger management, because that is what's required in that situation. And if you don't mind fighting strangers in front of your daughter, you're not well. You know what I mean? Especially over words. Especially when you're outnumbered. Not well. And that's what I have to say to that young lady, anybody like her. Because that was totally irresponsible. It was dangerous for the child. It was dangerous for her. And it could have went a lot of different ways. I hope it didn't when I left too. But since that girl's friend walked up, I felt like there was at least some balanced energy that had walked up. Some balanced energy walked up. But yeah, man, life is not a game, people. That's what I want to say to y'all. Life is not a game. There are a lot of different things that can go wrong when you think it is. You know, especially in situations where ignorance is driving the situation. I've heard of people getting in fights and losing their life because they get hit wrong, or they get lifted up and dropped on their neck and stuff like that. You don't want to toy with that. Not every fade is a fade. Sometimes you end up in a box just off the strength of the fade. And so, like, people need to be careful, man, really. You know? Not everything is sweet. You know? And so that's what comes to mind as well. When I was approaching that situation, I was very aware of that. Very aware of that. You know? You could call yourself playing peacemaker. Next thing you know, you're involved in a situation like that on one end or another. That's why I'm like, it was by the grace of God that it went that way, and it was by the grace of God that it even found myself there at the time I was. I want y'all to give that some thought too, man. Don't just go out on a whim with your ego, man. It was something I think spiritually led me to that situation. That's why I came with the confidence I did. It wasn't just because I had ego and just wanted to stop something. No. 20 minutes before that, I had that voice in my head telling me not to slow down, because the Lord was trying to get me there on time for that exact purpose. If not for that energy, probably shouldn't even intervene. If it wasn't of God who's wanted me there, probably wouldn't have been wise for me to get involved. That relationship with God can make things go right, man. You got a relationship with the enemy, you can have great intentions and it's going to end the worst way. And that's something I want people to understand as well. So, yeah, that's pretty much my take on it, man. I appreciate everybody for rocking with BDF 44. I'm out.